So, John, thanks for reading that passage from Descartes' Meditations on First Philosophy. Um, I was just reading about Aristotle, coincidentally, Aristotle's conception of the soul and its relation to the body. And that's really what Descartes was responding to, and what Descartes, in fact, transformed. He transformed the way we conceive of the soul by defining it as this first personal experience of our own thought, which would also be the rational intellect. And he separated that from the body and from the whole extended material world. For Aristotle, though, the soul wasn't the rational intellect that we experience only personally and privately within our own minds. Um, the soul was something inseparable from the body. He used the metaphor of the eyeball and sight being intrinsically related uh, to explain how the soul and the body are intrinsically related. The physical eye is worthless without um, the sense of sight, and they both imply one another. In the same way, the body implies the soul. The soul is what allows us to feel our bodies. You know, Descartes had an interesting problem on his hands when trying to explain how we feel pain um, in a particular place in our bodies. Because how is it that the rational intellect, which is, you know, related to the body at a point, in the pineal gland somewhere, in a strange way, but how does this point allow us to feel in our bodies, as our bodies? It's a very interesting dilemma, and I don't think Descartes ever was able to solve that. But what Aristotle lacked was this understanding of not only the soul in general as an abstraction of other bodies, um, but Aristotle lacked a sense of his own soul, of his own inner experience. He never referred to his own body, which Descartes recognized as an important philosophical category. Um, so Descartes sort of brought forth both the first person perspective for the first time in Western philosophy, or at least he focused on it. I mean, I think St. Augustine said something very similar to Descartes' cogito. Not I think, therefore I am, but somehow that thoughts are what allow me to be. And he was the first one to refer to his own being in sort of an existential, introspective way. But Descartes really carried this further and gave rise to both his first person, uh, both an understanding of his first person experience and an understanding of this third person objective mechanical world. These two perspectives, the inward and the outward, hadn't been so sharply divided until Descartes, um, because they hadn't been clearly demarcated. They're obviously different aspects of um, reality. Um, but I think the problem is that sometimes we reify these two different substances, the mental and the material, and we take Descartes' pronouncements as somehow final, when really the evolutionary process of consciousness, which Descartes was expressing in his philosophy, is still in progress. And so the I, the we, and the it are dancing, and we don't know what will occur to us next, and what kind of experiences we will bring forth. But the discovery that Descartes made, I think, is or was monumental, and it still is the foundation for much of the postmodern and possibly integral ways of thinking that we are carrying on today. In other words, we require Descartes in order to do what we do, which we like to think is somehow higher than Descartes or has evolved beyond where Descartes was. But we still depend on the path that he took that led us to where we are. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to continue reflecting on Descartes as you read him, and as I continue my reading, I'll probably get into Descartes as well, and maybe I'll throw some more um, readings out there. So, yeah, let's keep it up. Thanks, John.